Welcome to the BNI Effect, the podcast dedicated to helping Brisbane BNI members and business professionals achieve success through effective networking strategies. I'm Tony Meredith, and ordinarily I'm a business coach, but today I'm your host and fellow BNI member, bringing you insightful interviews and actionable tips to elevate your networking game and ultimately grow your business. This is episode number 9, and today's guest is Michael Khouri. Michael, g'day.
G'day, Tony.
Thank you for being here. In regards to kicking us off, tell us a little bit about who you are and your business.
Me personally, I'm a dad. I've got 3 kids. I'm a financial advisor, and I guess my goal in what I do is to help couples make better decisions to focus on the things they love. So we're a financial planning practice based here in Brisbane. We've got 4 staff, and I've been doing it for 14 years, I think, nearly. And
Fantastic.
I've been in the business for about 7 years.
Okay, and what's the name of your business?
It's called Better Financial Planning.
And where are you based?
Based in Milton, but we've got clients all over Australia thanks to Zoom. So our meetings, I'd say, are probably in the office. The other half are usually on Zoom as well. So clients don't even usually come to the office, which is a bit different.
Perfect. All right. And so how and when were you introduced to BNI?
For me, I think it was about 1.5 years ago. I had a friend of mine that's an accountant. His name's Mark. He told me about it. And my first impression was, I'm okay. Because I've been to a couple in the past, been part of a couple of networking things, and didn't really get much out of it. Felt like it was a bit of a waste. And at the time I was pretty busy and in the business. And as I said, it was just one of those things I was like, I'm okay. And then he sort of just started talking to me a bit more about the process and how at the time before he opened up his practice, the person he was working with was part of one, as he had been part of one for about 20 years, and he was getting, regular referrals every week, and it just sort of got me thinking, and it sort of just started from there. We actually started our own chapter. So I was talking to John, one of the directors here in Brisbane, and he something he said to me, I think, is when the penny dropped. He explained to me that every chapter has its own personality, and the benefit of starting your own chapter. I guess it's hard at the start, but you sort of get to be part of the process from the beginning of who comes in and all that type of stuff, and that's really paid off.
Excellent. And where is your chapter based?
It's based in Carindale.
Okay, terrific. And like you said, there's plenty of BNIs out there, but then each chapter has got their own personality, their own culture. And so, like you said, people can go along and experience different BNIs, and there might be one that actually doesn't quite fit with you, but that's not the BNI. There might be another BNI that perhaps is better aligned to where you're at. So, my strong advice would be keep trying different chapters. Certainly try the Carindale chapter, obviously, but keep trying different chapters because there'll be a BNI that suits exactly what it is that you're looking for.
Big time. Because as I said, for me, I visited some. I visited 3, and neither one of them really sat well with me. I was like, it was okay, but the people were different. They weren't everyone's got different personalities. Everyone fits into different personalities. And I think that's why. And they say, even with clients, like my clients, when they refer someone to me, they refer very similar types of people. People, I don't know what the saying is, but people refer the same types or something like that. And like if a client refers someone to me, they're a very similar type of client to that person, if that makes sense. And
yeah, it makes perfect sense. It's about people's comfort zone. What people like to hang around. Do we want to hang around people that we like, hang around people that are like us? And so you're right. So then people are hanging around those types of like-minded people, and then they're going to refer those similar people to you.
And that's what's happened, because since starting the chapter, it's like sort of the 4 or 5 that were there at the start have sort of brought in someone that was similar to them, and someone similar to them, and suddenly the whole chapter is very similar, and it's got this vibe about it, this behavior. And it's not gender-based or occupation or age, it's just more personality-wise, and mindset as well.
And so you've gone and created the chapter that you wanted to be a part of, which is amazing.
Literally. It sounds like a perfect fairy tale, which is pretty scary.
Good on you. Congratulations. How has BNI influenced your approach to networking?
It's definitely changed it in that it's become a lot more holistic. so my networking experience previously was with as a financial advisor. I help people with their money, and I've always only dealt with accountants, lawyers, mortgage brokers. But now I'm sort of finding myself talking to blind and shutter people, to painters, to professions which I never thought would refer clients to me. Which and it's sort of opened up my horizon when I'm helping my clients. Because when I help my clients, I'll talk to them about their money, but we talk about everything else, from their kids' education to their health to their mental health to everything, and even those conversations have developed because now I'm saying to them, oh, I know someone that can help you with this, I know someone that can help you with that. And it helps a lot, like especially for me, like in our chapter, I'm the education coordinator at the moment. And something I'll always say, that in our chapter, like, never before BNI comes ethics and comes relationships. So if I refer someone to someone, it's because I know them, I trust them, and I know that they're going to do a good job. And that sort of develops over time as well, because as you get to see each other every week, you get to know each other a bit better, and you build those relationships, and you just have that trust referring someone to that person, that they're in good hands, basically, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. And so you talk about trust, and obviously by having those personal relationships with people, understanding about their family and the kids and all those other things, not just strictly business, enables you to elevate the trust between each other, which is amazing. You mentioned that you're an education coordinator. So for the listeners who aren't quite sure what that means, what does it mean?
Well, it's great. I get to get up every week for 3 minutes and do a pep talk, basically, to talk about something. But what it is, it's sort of in the meeting, everyone has a different role to keep the meetings on track, and to keep the process there. And as an education coordinator, my job every week is to get up and just talk about a different topic. And it should be something related to BNI. Usually it's got some relation to BNI, but a lot of the times I like to make my topics more about things that people can use in their personal and business lives as well. But basically, essentially, I'd get up, talk about a topic, ask some questions, throw some inspiration out there, I guess. And it's great. I love doing it. I love being part of it. My understanding is every 12 months we normally change roles, so I'm going to miss it when I'm not education coordinator anymore, but it's great. It's good. I enjoy it.
That's amazing. And it's great too for the members, isn't it? So they come along. So you're not just coming along for the networking, you're actually going to learn some things along the way. So like you said, whilst it might be, business related or networking related, there'll be something that people can take away with them. And then when they apply that in their own business or their own personal life, they can have better outcomes.
Correct. And I like to keep mine fun, and I throw my personality into it. So I'll talk about, I don't know. The other day I related something to having children. You know what I mean? Like I just sort of like to give real life examples and like to talk about it, and it's good. I make it fun, and so that I enjoy it as well.
Well, it's engaging, so you're up there for 3 or so minutes. So you want to make it engaging. We want to listen to you and take the core message out of it. So good on you, Michael. That's terrific. How has your business evolved since being in BNI, and what role has networking had with that growth?
Yeah, so the business has grown considerably. I mean, it was growing considerably already, but I guess it's changed in two ways. The first is I'm getting a lot more ideal client referrals. So I was always getting referrals. We're always, because we're not new. So, and I've got a reputation. I've got a podcast. I put myself out there, but the clients and the referrals who were coming through weren't all exact ideal clients. Whereas now, I'd say a much larger percentage of the new clients that we have coming in are ideal clients, because I'm sort of talking in my meetings about the type of people that we help, the type of people that like. I've got lots of single clients, don't get me wrong, but we love working with couples. That's what we do best. We work on the budgeting. We help people with not just super and life insurance and investment advice. And because my fellow members in the chapter know that, they refer people that sort of fit that, because they sort of know who to sort of refer to. Who to refer to me, and that's really helped. And the other part is, so I think I remember the second part of your question, but it's just with my clients, talking to my clients. I'd probably say every meeting I finish, I've got at least I'm doing at least one referral, if not two or three, to different things. Because as we're talking, I'm like, oh, sweet, I know, because in BNI, they're sort of something that we always go on about, and we hear it all the time, is the something reticular activation system.
Yeah, the RAS, so reticular activating system. Yep.
That one. So, so the idea is, as you sort of talk to people every week about things, you sort of, it's just on your radar. Like if I've got a client that mentions to me, oh yeah, we need to sort out the backyard. I'm like, oh, do you have a carpenter? Do you have a builder? Oh no, I don't actually. Okay, I've got someone I could recommend. And I'll say, look, get other quotes, but this is someone I know, I trust them. I reckon give them a shot, so.
Excellent. Well, just for those who are wondering, what is this reticular activating system? What it is, it's a part of our brain which acts as a filter, and we as humans can't possibly compute all the information that goes on around us. And so by tuning in your RAS, and what you're referring to there, Michael, is that through your experience in BNI, through the education that you're receiving through BNI, and the people that you're meeting, you're now listening for cues. You're listening for, people who might be wanting more out of business, or people who might be needing a great plumber, or wanting someone to help, like you said, with the shutters and blinds, whatever it might be. You're attuning your RAS, your reticular activating system, to that. And then when you hear that in just general conversations, these don't need to be business conversations, it can be around the barbecue, it can be at the kids' sports, wherever it might be, you're now thinking about, because I've spent the time each week building a know, like, and trust relationship with a great plumber, with a great person in shutters and blinds, a retailer, etc., you're now able to connect the dots. You're becoming a connector. So that's what the reticular activating system is. Just for the viewers and listeners who are wondering, what is it that we're talking about?
Yeah, literally, and it's the example of if you look at buying a car, for example, yellow cars, and you start seeing yellow cars on the road everywhere. So it's that exact thing.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you measure your success with the participation in BNI?
How do I measure my success personally?
Yeah. So how do you know that you're getting out of BNI and what you want to get out of BNI?
Yeah, it's. There's two ways. I think there's the financial side of things, where we have an app and we track our referrals on that, and you could see at the end of every month, or every quarter, or literally every day, if you wanted to, what you've received in new business. And then I'd say also there's the emotional side of things as well, where I'd probably say is 80% of the benefit when you go to a meeting. Like for me, we started in winter, so going to our meetings, waking up at 5:45 a.m. I hated it. Even driving there, I hated it. Walking up the stairs, I hated it. But once you're in the room, you just feel this energy, this buzz, and you just feel amazing. And you leave the meeting, lots of energy, lots of thought, because you're taking that time out to think about your business and what you could work on, and you're seeing people, and it's great. So personally, I'd say you measure that just emotionally, just how you feel, positive emotions, mindset, energy, everything. So and the relationships that you build. Half the time I go isn't for referrals. I'd say 80% of the time I go, it's just for the relationships, and just the hangout every week, I guess, seeing everyone and seeing those people that I told you, trust, work well together with, get along with, etc.
It sounds like you've found your tribe, which is amazing. Yeah. What advice would you give to new BNI members to make the most out of their membership?
To make the most, I'd say follow the process. That's the easiest way to. It's like if you have a personal trainer, if you have a gym, if you sign up for an online course, if you don't follow it, it's useless. So if you're not going to follow it, I don't think it's worth joining. But if you are part of it, following the process helps, because it's just, there's a method to the madness. It's been going on for 40, 30, 40, 50, whatever number of years, for a reason. It's been working for a reason, and there's a reason that people are part of it. So, and the more you take that seriously, the more you take the process seriously, the more you'll get out of it, and the more successful the chapter will be, because everybody will be operating in a succinctful way. And for me, I could probably relate to that again as a financial advisor. I can give someone advice, put together the best plan, help them retire, pay off their debts and everything. But if they don't follow it, nothing's going to happen, So it's literally
you got to take some action. And I like the fact that you talk about BNI, the system, because BNI, it's been around for 39 years and it's got everything that you need to be successful. Our job as members is to simply follow that bouncing ball. And like you said, when you follow that bouncing ball, you don't try and cut corners. There's a process for a reason. And when you follow the bouncing ball, then you'll be able to create phenomenal success for yourself. And like you said, the success is not just commercial, whilst that's important, but there's an enormous emotional and friendships that are built along the way as well.
Right.
What's next for your business, Michael?
For me, we're looking at hiring a second advisor or an associate of some sort soon. We're expanding. I don't want to become too big because I like to always be that front contact with my clients, but just building up enough processes in the background and enough things in place so that we could, service more clients, help more Australians. But otherwise, yeah, we're doing really well. Financial advice is in high demand, and we love what we do, and our passion is there, and our clients see it, which is really cool and exciting.
And it's certainly coming through in this conversation, so I can see that about you. How do you see your relationship with BNI evolving as your business grows, as you get on your associate?
Yeah, I see it growing and continuing. It's one of those things where, eventually, even if I get to a point where I can't go to the meetings, which I don't think is going to happen because I personally enjoy going there, my associate would probably start going. So it's one of those things where I don't think you'll ever become too big for it or too busy for it. It's just, there's that saying, it's not a matter of being too busy, it's a matter of priorities. So if you prioritize networking and growing and growth and helping others, it's one of those things that I could see it continuing for many years.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's about placing importance around it. I agree with you. The other is too that there's plenty of members across BNI that have multiple staff members in different chapters, so to help them grow. So you don't have to be a business owner to go along to BNI. You can be an employee of a business and be in a chapter and get just as much out of it as a business owner would. If you could share one piece of wisdom with our listeners, whether they be BNI members or small business owners, what would it be, Michael?
Listen to everyone around you. Listen to the experts around you, and don't stay inside your own bubble. Like as an advisor, even me as an advisor or financial advisors in general, even you as a coach, like I feel like everyone undervalues the value of advice and mentors and asking for advice. And I feel like if all of us in our lives, if we look at those around us, whether they're in our profession or outside our profession, or whether it's someone in a BNI chapter, outside a BNI chapter that is doing something really, really well, we should never be ashamed or embarrassed to ask for advice, to ask for help, and to ask questions, because most people are normally willing and happy to offer their time and their wisdom, and they're normally happy to even give someone 5 minutes of their time to give them some help. So that's literally, I think every single thing I've done right in my business has been stolen or borrowed from someone where I've said, hey, look, I do this really bad. I really need help. Can you sort of help me out? Yes, I've had to pay them sometimes. Most of the time, it's someone's just been willing to give me some advice and some help, but I've gotten something out of it, and I've taken that and I've run with it. And it sort of goes back to that givers gain thing. We talk about givers gain and BNI all the time. Like if you help others, they naturally will want to help you back. It's exactly the same thing. So I'd say the biggest tip I'd give anyone in business is, don't be too embarrassed to ask for help from those around you, and to ask for assistance and knowledge and feedback and everything, whether it's in a networking chapter or outside, it's so invaluable.
It's a wonderful suggestion, Michael. And like you said, people will be amazed at how people, particularly in BNI, are so willing to help. So, if you're afraid to ask the question, you're only damaging yourself and holding yourself back, because ask that question and truly you'll be amazed at how people are just so forthcoming and want to help, particularly in the BNI, membership in the community. And like you said, because one of our key values is around givers gain, and we want to help people and pay it forward and, see others succeed.
That's it. And being humble enough as well to admit that you suck at something and that you need help with it as well. So, it's sometimes when we're too prideful, it's too hard to sort of realize that you really need help with something, so it's, yeah.
What wonderful. Look, I haven't got long enough today to talk about all the things that I suck at, right? So good advice, Michael. Really appreciate it. Hey, how can listeners learn more about you and your business and get in touch with you?
For me, easiest way would be to visit the website, betterfinancialplanning.com.au. An even easier way is to follow my podcast show, which is titled Sharing More Than the Sheets. It's available on Spotify, Apple. It's a podcast show for couples. Not every episode is related to money, but I've had some really cool guests on, and spoken about some great topics, money related, finance related, budgeting related, or there's LinkedIn as well. So happy to touch base with anyone in any of those ways.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Michael. Please, viewers and listeners, reach out to Michael. Go and listen to his podcast. As you've heard here today, he's very articulate in the way in which he communicates, and I could tell that you've got a podcast. So well done, mate. And thank you for sharing, your story about your business, but also your story and journey in relation to BNI.
And that's a pleasure. Thank you so much, Tony, for having me.
Excellent. Well, that wraps up another episode of the BNI Effect. We hope you enjoyed today's discussion and want to extend a massive thank you to our guest, Michael Khouri, for sharing his insights with us. If you found value in today's episode, please don't forget to subscribe to the BNI Effect on your favourite podcast platform and leave us a review. So until next time, keep networking, keep growing, and remember, your success is our priority here at the BNI Effect.